Well, welcome back. This is the beginning of Chapter 3, which is on visual displays of data. And we'll be talking about one of those from Section 3.1, one idea, one big concept, which is frequency tables. And I think you're going to find that frequency tables are very understandable, and you should feel very comfortable with this once you've finished reading through your material in this chapter. So let's see if I can get to my next slide here. There we go. So what is a frequency table? It's a chart, and it has two columns. The first column is the categories. As you can see in this one, we've got height in the first column, and the second column lists the frequency. And when you hear the word frequency, just think the number. How many counts do we have? So we have, if we looks like in this frequency, we have someone. We're looking at heights at 170. There's 7 people with that height. 172 centimeters, 2 people. So this is the category, and then this, of course, is the frequency. So let's take a look at relative frequency. So when you have, and you're creating a relative frequency chart, you're going to have some categories, and then we've got the frequencies, just like we saw before. But then we're going to fill in here with the relative frequencies. And the relative frequencies are going to be a fraction, a ratio. You're going to say, well, how many, what percentage of the frequencies of the absences were 2? You know, how many, what was the frequency of that? I'm not saying that very well. So let me try it again. So looks to me like we have here absences. How many people were never absent? 2 of them. Well, what percentage of the total is that? What's the relative frequency? So to find that value, we're going to do a division of 2 divided by 15. So if we take 2 and divide it by 15, we're going to get a fraction, a ratio, and that's going to translate to 0.133. 0.133. That's the relative frequency of absences of 0. And then we can go straight down the column here and calculate the rest of them. 3 out of 15. 3 out of 15 is going to give you 0.2. 3 out of 15. So this column is going to be 0.2. 4 out of 15 is going to be 0.267. 3 out of 15 again is going to be 0.2. 2 out of 15 again is going to be again 0.133. And 1 out of 15 is going to be 0.067. So again, to get these relative frequencies, I took the frequency, this number here, and I divided it by the total, this number there. And when I do this, I'm going to show you that the sum of all of these frequencies, if I add up this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this, if I add all of those up, I'm going to get let's see, order, send it back, nope, order, bring it front. Well, I know it's under there, but it's not showing me. But I will say if I add all those up, I'm going to get 1. So the frequency that you were absent either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or no times is 1%. So that's our relative frequency. So to find the relative frequency, again, this is our definition. We take the frequency in the category and divide it by the total frequency. All right, back to our problem here. So our problem, this is from our study guide, which I do suggest that you take some time and review it before you take test 1. Okay. And this question says, decide whether the statement below makes sense or is clearly true, or does not make sense or is clearly false. Explain clearly. A lot of clearly's in there. The relative frequency of a category A in a table is 0.27 or 27%. Well, let's read through our choices here. A, the statement does not make sense because relative frequencies can only be calculated for data that have an inherent order. I don't remember saying anything like that, so that doesn't sound true. B, the statement does not make sense because relative frequencies must be greater than 0.5 or 50%. Definitely not true. C, the statement does not make sense because relative frequencies must be whole numbers. That's kind of a trick question. Frequencies have to be whole numbers, but relative frequencies, nope, they can be fractions. So let's try D. The statement makes sense because relative frequencies must be less than 0.5 or 50%. Kind of the opposite of B, and that again is still not true. And E, the statement makes sense because a relative frequency can be 0.27 or 27%. Yay! Okay, so hopefully that's cleared up some of your questions on relative frequency. Make sure that you read your textbook and do plenty of practice problems. Until next time.